everyone, and welcome back to the Heart Talks. Today's episode is such an interesting topic, one which many have not listened to before, to the extent where I had to sit and write the script on my own because of
That's
how
gonna be bad.
it's very interesting. I found this to be so fascinating. Trust me. So, Reenav, tell us what today's episode is about.
So it's about the troubled teen industry, TTI. It is a term used to describe a system of underregulated residential youth treatment facilities that operate primarily in the United States.
That is such a simple way to put it. So, what the troubled teen industries is, imagine a wilderness program. It's like a complete outdoor rehabilitation program, which is all nature filled, hiking and camping. Except that this focuses primarily on teenagers who are troubled, who are either going through anxiety or depression, or are simply misbehaved. Imagine a situation where someone kidnaps you from your own house in the middle of the night and puts you on a plane and takes you in the middle of some Utah desert. That is essentially the troubled teen industry. Except that this industry is entirely consented by the parents of the teenager. Meaning that parents who think that they are working in the best interest of the child hire people to take children to, a wilderness facility where they are made to camp and hike. Except this is just one way of looking at it. What's so fascinating about the troubled teen industry is that often these wilderness camps are a breeding ground for a lot of teenage abuse. These camps are usually not authorized or authenticated, and because of that, what happens is that absolutely anything can happen inside over here. These are completely privately run camps, and as a result of all of this, there is so much abuse taking place. The students over here are forced to trek for miles with like the heaviest backpacks on their back. They're not given proper places to sleep. They're not given proper food. The resources over here are so bad. But to understand the troubled teen industry completely, we need to go back to its origin. Can you tell us about it?
So, since its inception about 60 years ago, countless children have been processed through the TTI. Current estimates in the US are around 120 to 200,000 children in the TTI at any given time. So, the origins of TTI can be tracked back to the 1958 cult Synanon, a drug addiction rehabilitation center that used attack therapy, isolation, limited freedom, and rewards for compliance.
So, synonym and the consequences of synonym are very deep to understand. They can be summed up in one question, though. What happens when a rehab program that is supposed to cure addictions becomes addicted in its own nature? So, this entire thing was started by Charles Dederich, who was a former alcoholic himself, who had gotten sober. He started Synonym in 1958 during a heroin epidemic in the US.
So, Donald Kreze, University of California at Los Angeles sociologist, described Synanon to Time in 1961 as the most significant attempt to keep addicts off drugs that has ever been made. By the 1960s, Synanon had become not only a treatment facility, but a communal living experiment, taking over three-story building in Santa Monica. Mass weddings were performed. Members were encouraged to start families and took turns watching over each other's kids.
And this is exactly what makes Synonym so culty. And trust me when I say it did not stop just over here. I was reading up about Synonym and I found something so interesting. I mean, not interesting, slightly horrifying. But Charles, the man who had started Synonym, had recovered from, his alcohol issues. Except that when his wife died, he slipped right back into alcoholism. And we need to understand that by this time, Synonym was a completely like residential facility. People were living over here. For people, Synonym was their entire life. A lot of people who even sobered up at Synonym refused to leave Synonym because of the simple fact that they had completely cut out ties from people back in their real life. So imagine if the founder and the head of Synonym becomes an alcoholic again. His ideas were completely skewed now. You know, uh, he who had been promoting one to start living in normal families and to start eh, finding things that make them happy had now taken back all of his own ideologies. Charles had now started preaching about the fact that people need to divorce their partners, people need to stop having kids. And all of these ideologies had really gotten into the heads of Americans. And it's also important to remember that while Synonym was so culty, it was also the very first time in American history that a residential therapy program had been introduced.
So, since Synanon in an industry composed of wilderness therapy programs, boot camps, residential treatment centers, therapeutic boarding schools, religion-based programs, and drug rehabilitation programs has arisen.
So, it's very important to remember that the whole intention behind the troubled teen industry is not negative. Wilderness therapy is supposed to be a vacuum for healing. The idea is to force a struggling teenager to leave their environment to learn consequences, choice, and accountability through the powers of nature. Something which, honestly, if you think about it on a surface level, makes complete sense. But what actually went on in these wilderness camps? Because I have read so many articles about teenagers who were forced to, sleep in the worst conditions, who were forced to maintain hygiene in the worst conditions. I was reading one of these stories about a girl who was in one of these wilderness programs because of her own personal issues. And over there, to ensure that she's not escaping at night, instead of putting her in a protected environment with locked doors and locked windows, or having, volunteers stay with her, what they would do instead is that they would put her in a sleeping bag, put a tarp over her, and then place very heavy barrels on both of her sides to ensure that she cannot move at night. And if she ends up moving, she makes noise. You know what happened because of this? When I was reading this account, I found out that the girl in the end was not able to move at night to adjust herself. And her anxiety actually increased. She started having panic attacks in the middle of the night without moving.
Wilderness therapy can cost upwards of $50,000 per stay. And because there is not enough data to justify that the treatment is effective and that the cost is necessary for said treatment, insurance companies sometimes reject claims.
There are so many stories of patients refinancing, sometimes even selling their homes to cover the cost of treatments for their child. And I understand that kind of dedication to your child. Every parent is going to have that. But to have this entire industry known as the troubled teens industry, where we have all of these unauthorized wilderness programs benefiting off such emotions, is honestly so disturbing to me. And what I find to be so surprising is the amount of people that know about it. This is not common knowledge. This is not something that people often talk about or know about. And I do believe that this should be more spoken about, because I want you and I want the entire audience to just place yourself in the place of these teenagers for a minute. You are someone who's struggling, you're going through something clearly, and your parents are trying to do what they think is the best for you, and that is by sending you to a wilderness camp. Except that at this wilderness camp, you have been exposed to mass levels of abuse and trauma in what is supposed to be a healing moment. That is such, a thing to think about.
Hmm.
So, this was a Troubled Teen Industry on the Heart Talks. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope to see you next episode too.